In today's video, we're diving into the terrifying transformation of Bucky Barnes, from hero to assassin. We'll break down how his powers work, what it would do to a real human body, and reveal the Cold War experiments that inspired one of Marvel's darkest stories. Stick around, because what you're about to learn will change how you see him forever. Back in the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union weren't just racing to build nukes. They were in a secret battle to create the perfect soldier. A man with superhuman strength, inhumane discipline, and no memory of who he once was. A weapon that looked like a man, but obeyed like a machine. In the Marvel Universe, this horrifying dream became a reality when Soviet agents found the broken body of Bucky Barnes, believed dead after falling from a train during World War II. But instead of burying him, they rebuilt him, not out of love or duty, but to create a living weapon. Sound like science fiction? Here's where it gets real. During the Cold War, the CIA ran a secret program called MKUltra, an illegal mind control experiment that tested drugs like LSD, used sleep deprivation, and even experimented with hypnosis. The goal? See if a human mind could be broken and rebuilt like software. The Soviets had similar experiments, often crossing ethical lines with terrifying speed. Both sides wanted to turn humans into programmable weapons. This wasn't just about physical upgrades, it was about psychological warfare, total obedience, no hesitation, no remorse. But here's the real question: how far would you go to make someone forget who they are? Bucky's transformation was brutal. First, they erased his memories through forced brainwashing. Sessions of electric shock, psychological torture, and isolation designed to wipe his identity. Every time fragments of his old self resurfaced, they hit reset, over and over and over. But wiping his mind was only half the mission. His body had to match his new role as a ghostly executioner. So the Soviets gave him their version of the super soldier serum. It didn't just enhance him, it remade him. Stronger muscles, faster reflexes, unnatural stamina. He was no longer just a man. He was an apex predator. Then came the cybernetic arm. His left arm, replaced with a biomechanical marvel, wasn't just for looks. In the comics, it can lift over 6,000 pounds, crush concrete walls, and interface directly with electronics. Even crazier, it gives him sensory feedback. He can feel textures and temperature like a normal hand. In the real world, prosthetic limbs have come a long way. Myoelectric arms can now respond to nerve signals, but Bucky's arm? It's still years, maybe decades ahead of anything we can build. And here's the wild part. For Bucky to survive the force his arm can deliver, his spine, tendons, and bones would have to be reinforced or replaced. Otherwise, one punch could snap his body in half like a twig. And just when you think it can't get worse, remember, this isn't just engineering, it's erasure. Every enhancement strips away a little more of who Bucky used to be. Okay, time for some numbers, and a few jaws to hit the floor. Let's start with strength. A well-trained boxer can throw a punch at around 300 pounds of force. A pro-level heavyweight can hit 700. Bucky's mechanical arm? It hits over 2,200 pounds of force. That's like being hit by a pickup truck going 20 miles an hour. His reflexes are even crazier. Most people react to danger in about a quarter of a second. That's 250 milliseconds. Bucky? He's dodging bullets. Literally. That requires reaction speeds close to 50 milliseconds, 5 times faster than the average person. And stamina? While elite marathoners can run 100 miles in a day with food, water, and lots of training, Bucky can fight for days without rest. No sleep, no meals, no problem. Either his metabolism is engineered to burn fuel like a machine, or the man runs on sheer plot armor. Probably both. But here's where things get freaky. Bucky doesn't just endure these extremes. He seems built for them. His heart, lungs, and brain would have to be superhuman just to stay alive. And yet, somehow, he still bleeds. So we have to ask, if a person went through this, would they even survive? Let's compare Bucky to the best athletes in the world. The world record for deadlift is 1,104 pounds, set by Hafthor Bjornsson. That's impressive. But Bucky's arm lifts over 3 tons. That's more than 5,000 pounds, nearly 3 cars stacked on top of each other. Olympic gymnasts can launch themselves over 10 feet in the air using raw strength and perfect timing. Bucky casually leaps over 15 feet without a running start. That's not agility. That's superhuman force absorption and precision control. And when it comes to endurance, ultra runners like Scott Jurek can go over 100 miles in a single day, but they crash hard after. Bucky, meanwhile, goes through combat missions that last multiple days without so much as a protein bar. It sounds impressive until you realize the biological cost. All that strain would destroy human joints, overstress the heart, and flood the body with stress hormones. Not to mention the psychological cost of being brainwashed, memory wiped, and forced to kill people without even knowing why. Honestly, no elite athlete on Earth could survive what Bucky did. Not because of lack of skill, but because biology has limits, and Bucky was designed to break them. What makes the Winter Soldier so terrifying isn't just what he can do, it's that the world tried to make him real. In the 1950s and 60s, the CIA's MKUltra project drugged people with LSD, subjected them to sleep deprivation, sensory isolation, and psychological trauma, all in hope of creating mind-controlled agents. Victims included civilians, military personnel, and psychiatric patients, many of whom didn't even know they were being experimented on. The Soviets weren't innocent either. Reports describe experiments where prisoners were exposed to extreme cold, tested for pain tolerance, and forced to endure surgeries without anesthesia, all in pursuit of the perfect soldier. These weren't isolated incidents. They were entire programs designed to erase identity, manipulate loyalty, and rewrite human behavior. Sound familiar? Bucky Barnes may be fiction, but the blueprint behind him was very real. So, could the Winter Soldier ever become real? Honestly, we're getting close. Neural implants are letting people control robotic limbs. Exoskeletons are giving soldiers and factory workers enhanced strength. CRISPR and gene editing are opening doors to faster healing and stronger muscles. But here's the real question. Are we willing to trade our humanity for power? Because that's what Bucky's story is about. It's not just muscle or tech, it's identity. He lost his past, his freedom, his choice, all to become the perfect weapon. So, let me ask you, what would you do if someone offered you super strength, bullet speed reflexes, and an arm that could stop a truck, but you had to erase your memories, your family, yourself? Would you take the deal? Let me know in the comments.